Karsh, along with my good friend Big John Lloyd. And John Starr, I got to tell you, first of all, it's an honor and a privilege for me to work with you tonight at Friendly 49er Days with the NCWA. The opening bout, ladies and gentlemen, on... Oh, there we go.
Wait a second.
We're waiting for the signal from referee Al Alberti to ring the bell. And we have done that. The masked jungle fighter in the ring with Brett Stryker. And John, I know both of these wrestlers very familiar to you.
That's right. Brett Stryker, an up-and-coming star in the NCWA. He's had some battles before with the masked jungle fighter. He took some exception to some of the comments Beatnik was making, and all of a sudden jungle fighter came up from behind, and you saw what happened.
Well, the masked jungle fighter is never to be trusted. There's no doubt about that. But now Brett Stryker has certainly turned the tables, whipping the masked man into the turnbuckle. There's a nice hip toss across the ring. Nice drop kick right on the money.
What a drop kick by Brett Stryker. I gotta admit, Mick, that he's looking very colorful in that ring attire, even wearing one of his own personalized Brett Stryker t-shirts.
Very sharp indeed. On the outside of the ring, our cameras picking up the condolence call, the meeting of the minds, and I guarantee you that'll be a very short meeting between the jungle fighter and his manager, the termite, the beatnik.
Well, I don't even think they got roll call done for that meeting.
No doubt about that. It is such a pleasure to be here tonight, everybody involved with the NCWA and this great event, the annual Friendly 49er Days. A tremendous lineup of NCWA wrestling action this evening. Kicking it all off with Brett Stryker and the Jungle Fighter. Brett Stryker, a very, very talented young wrestler, very diligent, a real sincere work ethic. This young man takes wrestling very seriously, wants to climb to the top. The Jungle Fighter, on the other hand, will just as soon poke you in the eye as shake hands with you.
Well, Mick, you've heard this saying before. Everyone's trying to climb the ladder to get to the top, and Jungle Fighter will pull your feet and your hands right out from under you. He'll do anything he can, and obviously you've seen it right there as a chop right on Brett Stryker.
Brett Stryker, very popular young man with the fans of the NCWA. Nice arm drag. Takes that bulbous frame of the Jungle Fighter to the canvas. And a second arm drag, and now he locks that arm. The Jungle Fighter, perhaps the most ornery individual that I have spoken to, or I should say at least attempted to speak with. This guy is just never having a good day.
That's right. Jungle Fighter, he's got attitude with a capital A. Just arrogance, just, oozes from his pores, just like sweat. It's unbelievable.
Often a version of the abdominal stretch on the canvas. Very unique move. Oh!
Gee, now there's a scientific move by the masked Jungle Fighter, raking the eyes. You know, Mick, as they say, if you had $1 for every time you saw a move like that out of the Jungle Fighter, you and I'd be millionaires.
Well, no doubt about that. This guy, I think we saw his entire scientific repertoire right there. The shot to the eye, that plodding, methodical style of the masked Jungle Fighter. He has become an institution in the NCWA. There's a shot right to the nose, to the bridge of the nose, and Brett Stryker hit the canvas with a thud. The Jungle Fighter claims it was an open hand.
You know, Mick, I have to take a moment just to say, speaking of institutions, I really think Jungle Fighter and Beatnik really ought to be institutionalized.
Oh, there's no question about that. And well, now there's that snake. There he is again, the Beatnik. This guy, you know, you'd like to see him put on the tights, get in the ring if you want to get involved in the action.
Definitely. I'd like to get him in a cage match myself sometimes.
You know, I'd like to see that. I really would. You know, you're a big guy. Well, that's another story altogether.
Yep, for another story for another time, Mick.
The Beatnik imploring his man to go in and finish the job that he has started on Brett Stryker. Oh, big clubbing uppercut right to the sternum. The Jungle Fighter again claiming that he used an open hand. You could see all the way on University Avenue that he did not.
Now he's picking up Stryker by the hair, Mick. Once again, non-scientific maneuvers on the part of the masked Jungle Fighter.
Nice reversal by Stryker. Oh, big elbow caught the Jungle Fighter to the side of the jaw.
Stryker's got things going his way. Now he picks him up.
There's an Irish whip off the ropes. Big body block. Good shoulder tackle. This may be a little premature right here. You're not going to pin the Jungle Fighter that easily. There's no doubt about it. Give him his due.
5 minutes into this match. 5 minutes.
He's a bulldog in that ring now. Again, picking up that ponderous weight of the Jungle Fighter. Brett Stryker trying to follow up now. Big elbow.
Now Stryker's got to hook him right here, but watch out for the Beatnik on the outside.
Count of two. Referee Al Alberti in on top of the action, making the count. Oh, and there's a shot right to the jaw. And And now the momentum has shifted once again on the Jungle Fighter, choking Brett Stryker on that second ring rope. Another one of his scientific maneuvers.
Uh-oh, watch out. They're trying to distract. Uh-oh, here comes Jungle Fighter.
Oh, all the way across the ring. John, very reminiscent of a move employed by Maurice Mad Dog Vachon. He'd get that opponent over that second rope, and believe me, when you get that weight dropping across your back, and you've got your neck straddling that coiled steel ring rope, you're in trouble. Now to our side of the ring right now. And once again, watch the beatnik, ladies and umbrella that has come into play so many times, John, for crying out loud. Where is Jim Mitchell?
Well, I'm looking at the crowd, Nick, and I can't see him, but powder or some sort of substance right in the eyes of Brett Stryker.
He got him! Oh, for heaven's sakes!
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest, the masked Jungle Fighter.
Well, I don't know, John, if we're going to be able to take a look at that again. But as is usually the case, the Jungle Fighter